So, dann sollte man uns zumindest schon mal hören. Das ist schon mal gar nicht schlecht. So, dann sollte man uns zumindest schon mal hören. Das ist schon mal gar nicht schlecht. So, dann sollte man uns zumindest So, und jetzt auch nochmal ohne Rückkopplung, dass wir uns auch mal richtig hören. Sehr schön. Jetzt ein bisschen hoch machen und Kompressor rein, ein bisschen Rauschen weg. Gut. Und gleich sieht man uns auch. Eine Kamera, zweite Kamera. Da sind wir. Ist das der Wahnsinn. So, in knappen 2 Minuten geht's los. In around 2 minutes we will start this second half of our community days. If you know someone that's missing, just ping somewhere, write him emails, or the platform you prefer, and then we will start our second day. I hope you all had your morning coffee or tea. Some people prefer tea.
Blendet etwas, aber das ist ja schlimm.
The sun is doing its thing. "13 people in the live chat on YouTube. Hello, everyone that is watching us from YouTube. Also, hello here to all the people in the chat and in our conference system. I hope our first speaker gets his internet back in a while.
Okay. So good morning. Hello. Hello. Good morning. Hello. Good morning. I welcome you to the second day of the third Volla Community Days 2021. I appreciate that you joined our conference, and I hope that you get a lot of inspiration and exciting discussions today. And I'm looking forward to very interesting speakers and topics from our community and abroad. So I'm very happy about that. And so this is what we can expect for today. In the morning, we expect some presentations and demonstrations for other operation systems that are running on the Volla phone. And in parallel, hopefully, there have been some people that have started yesterday to face the challenge of the hackathon so we can see the results this afternoon. In German, hallo, willkommen noch einmal zu den zweiten Volla Community Days. Und heute geht es um die Vorstellung von alternativen Betriebssystemen am Vormittag. Heute Nachmittag nochmal einige Tipps auch für erfahrene Anwender, wie die Verwendung des UB-Ports-Installers und dann die Ergebnisse vom Hackathon, der jetzt parallel stattfindet hier. So, okay, so then let's go over to our first contributor for today. This is Mr. Ikkinen from Finland, and he worked in a team of Druidian. This is also another alternative operation system that could be executed on the Volla phone. But let's give him his stage. Hopefully he has back the web. Okay, go on.
Can you hear me?
So, good morning. We don't hear you now, I guess.
Okay, you can't hear me.
No,
Can you hear now?
nothing.
So you can't hear me. Okay, in chat everyone says they can hear me. So
You talking, but I don't have.
It's always a challenge to have a video conference, and sometimes the microphone is muted.
my microphone is on, and
Mac, and
so
I missed the switch.
Okay.
The audio input in the settings. If I plug in a microphone or headset.
Yeah. Everybody can hear me, yes. Okay, but you can't hear me. Okay.
The voice settings, I guess you already saw them. You just try to reconnect somehow.
Well, I can probably share my screen.
No, nothing. Maybe you just try to disconnect.
Well, I have a problem. Chromium doesn't support screen sharing on Wayland.
You can hear him. That's funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so just a second.
Okay, the problem is on our side.
Now, say something.
Can you hear me?
Perfect.
So then,
you can hear me now. Okay.
Yeah,
well, that's good. I have a little.
Sorry, that was my audio setting that was wrong.
Okay. I have now a problem. I changed to Chrome, but I can't share my screen because I'm in a Wayland session. Firefox supports Wayland screen sharing, but Chrome doesn't support.
Perfect.
So
okay,
I have
maybe if you want to switch.
So I probably have to try once more with Firefox.
Okay. We will check if this works, and in the meantime, I'll tell the audience some other great things, and then we get back to Mr. Ikkinen. So, by the way, you saw maybe that the initial screen I shared was this one, because we have a discount this weekend. It started yesterday and it will be there until the end of tomorrow. You can save 21 euros if you use the code VCD21. And well, this is just like the last thing we could do on the community days to get you to finally buy your Volla phone, your second Volla, or your third Volla phone. Maybe. The trend is going to the third one.
And yesterday night, the last test passed for the intermediate Volla OS 9 update. And let's see, maybe we can publish it right today. And if not, then in the next couple of days, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Can you see the screen now?
Yes, we see the screen.
Okay.
So let's start with Eric Ikkinen.
Okay, yeah, I just switched my browser and now it works. It didn't work on Firefox a while ago, but it started working now.
That's
when I tried it a few times. Okay, so Okay, now I'll start. First, I'd like to thank you for inviting me to this exciting event. And now I will give a brief presentation. Then I will give a demo. Okay. So, first, a few words about me. I'm going to upper secondary school in Finland, and I'm interested in computers and open source software. I'm a member of Troidian team, and Troidian is one of my first bigger contributions to the open source community. I haven't done such big contributions before. I have contributed a lot of things to Troidian actually. Yes, and I am also a fan of the GNOME desktop. Okay. Yeah. So then about the Droidian and its mission. Its mission is to run Debian on Android phones, so like the Volla phone, for example. It also brings Fosh on these devices, and Fosh is a good choice for Debian-based distribution because Debian uses GNOME by default, and Fosh is kind of a part of the GNOME stack currently. Yeah. While Mobian concentrates on mainline devices like the PinePhone, we concentrate on non-mainline Halium-compatible devices like the Volla phone, for example. Okay. It is easier to adapt Halium on a new device than run mainline kernel on that device if it's not already mainlined, but yeah. So it is possible to provide Mobian-like environment on a wider range of devices. Okay. Then an overview of the technologies we use. We use Halium, libhybris. Yeah, and we as a modem stack we use OFONO and OFONO to Modem Manager. And for the UI we have Fosh and GNOME apps. Okay. I chose the modem stack as an example because it contains one piece of software which is developed by us and mostly by actually me. So that's why I chose the modem stack here. Okay. So the base is Halium, of course, and Debian. Halium and libhybris let us use the Android drivers. Because Halium is, in a nutshell, a minimized containerized Android user space. And yeah, these technologies are also used in Ubuntu Touch, so yeah, they're common technologies. And we use Debian as the base distribution, which is quite popular distribution. And Ubuntu is also based on Debian, but it's not the same thing. Okay. And as for the modem stack, OFONO is used as in other Halium-based distributions. Yeah, it communicates with the Android user space, containerized Android user space. It has a plugin to communicate with the Android container. And Modem Manager does not have a plugin. I don't think it has actually. So that is a problem because GNOME stack expects Modem Manager, not OFONO. So as a solution, we are now developing a piece of software called OFONO to Modem Manager, which fakes the Modem Manager dbus interface and uses OFONO. No, what did I say? It fakes the modem manager dbus interface and uses OFONO as the backend. Okay, yeah, but calls are an exception. They are handled directly through OFONO. So yes. Okay. As for the UI, we're using Fosh and Fock. They are written by Purism and are the default UI on Librem 5. Yes. They are Fock is the Wayland composer and Fosh is the shell itself. And they're based on Modem Stack. The core applications are the same as on the GNOME desktop. So it provides a familiar and unified user experience for GNOME users. For example, I find it easy to use Fosh because I use GNOME on my PC. So, and to recap, Droidian is easy to port thanks to Halium. And it is, in a nutshell, Droidian is Debian on Halium using Fosh as UI. And Fosh is based on GNOME Stack, so it is familiar to GNOME users. Okay. Next, I will probably have the demo. Yeah. Okay. I will now disconnect the screen sharing and get back to my camera. Okay, you can see my camera now.
Yes, we see your camera.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna move the camera so it is possible to show the phone, because I'm going to show the phone through the camera. Oops, sorry. Yeah, it'll take a while to get used to moving the camera around. Yeah, you can see the phone probably now. Oops, if I could just get this on here. Like this. Okay, you can see the phone.
Yes.
If the paper, it wouldn't be here. Be sure. No. Okay. Okay, now you can see the phone correctly.
Yes,
Okay.
perfect.
Okay, thank you. So we can now open this. We can see this is a Volla phone, as we can see. Yeah, we can open the screen. Do you see it in a mirror? I don't know.
No, it's
I'm seeing.
mirroring just a little bit, but it's okay. It's
Okay.
almost sharp. That's okay.
Okay, well, we can try opening it and enter its just passcode, which is a testing passcode. Yes, and this is the app launcher. We can, for example, launch the settings now. Okay, it takes some time to launch, but it should launch. Yeah, it technically should launch. No, it launched. It was just quite slow. Okay, we can, in the About section of the settings, we can see that it is actually Droidian. It reads OS name is Droidian. OS name is Droidian. So yeah, this is running Droidian. Okay, one of our newest developments has been the camera. It is not complete. It is not software. It is software accelerated, not hardware accelerated, which makes it around 1 FPS currently, and it's rotated, but it works. You can see that it's rendering a picture, which is rotated, but it is rendering that picture. Okay. And as we have now the OFONO to Modem Manager software, we can actually place calls. Send text messages and place calls, because we have the audio routing and the OFONO to and the OFONO thing working, and calls. So here is another phone. Oops. Yeah, here's another phone running actually Droidin as well. This is a Google Pixel 3a. So we can call it from here. I don't know if you can actually hear, but when it starts to ring, it should make a loud noise. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, it works. Okay. Yeah, it works. So we can see it. You can actually call, and if I would answer the call, the audio routing should work. So it works currently, I think. I just didn't answer because it would probably not work really well in this demonstration situation. But technically, it works. So if these phones were in different rooms, it would work. But it's kind of hard to demonstrate because the audio would just be in the same room, which is not a good idea. Okay. Then we can actually see also text messages should work. If I try to do open text messaging, no, I can type here something with a keyboard, squeak board. For example, like this, and then press the send button. We can see we received a new notification, and we can see the message there. If you can, I don't know if you can see that very clearly, but it is there. So text messages work. Mobile data doesn't work yet. You can enable it through terminal, but through the graphical user interface, it is impossible currently. You can see the option, but it's not just working. If we open the settings again, we can show the modem settings. Why is this phone so slow now? Okay, now it's started. T-Tap, okay. Yeah. So we can see the mobile data option, but we can't actually enable that. It just doesn't work. And for some reason that it's showing, it is also showing 2G only, although we are on a 4G network. But we can see here that we are on, my carrier is Telia and my network type is LTE and my signal strength is showing up and network status and my own number and also email is showing up actually there. So we can prove that the settings are almost working. Only the mobile data thing is actually non-functioning correctly. That is mostly the things I wanted to show. But if you want me to show something, you can probably tell now. Okay, 3D acceleration. We have no hardware acceleration at all yet, I think. I'm not sure if the compositor is hardware accelerated, but GTK isn't actually. So I suppose 3D acceleration is not working. Okay.
Okay. So I'm very excited to see that progress and that you have not only Wi-Fi and the system itself working.
I can't hear you now. Is my connection? Okay, it's their connection actually. Okay, well, let's see. The Plasma Mobile. Well, I think it should be Fosh is packaged in the Debian repos. I think that is something that should be done first. I'm not sure, but we are mostly now concentrating on Fosh, and maybe in future we could have a Plasma Mobile version as well. Bluetooth is working, I think. It is not working on the Google Pixel due to Bluebinder bug, but it is working on this. I think it should work. Oh yeah, yeah. You can see that it's displaying some Bluetooth devices there, so it is working. Yes. We have a Telegram channel if you want to discuss about development. It is our Telegram chat group. You can probably find it by searching our Droidian on Telegram. And our development is, our code is on GitHub. So you can just find it there.
Irgendwie unterbrochen, ne?
So can someone hear us now? Is it working?
Yes, we can hear you.
So thank you very much. I'm impressed what you have presented, because it's not only that the system starts and that you have Wi-Fi access, you're also able to make and receive phone calls. You can use a camera. So I'm really impressed. I have a few questions.
If I may say, I have used actually this phone, Volla phone with Droidian as a daily driver for a few days. I tried, yes, and it is quite usable already. Only the mobile data, which has to be enabled through terminal, is a bit annoying, but it is doable, actually.
Okay. And now the first question is, where can we get that system, and how could we install that system?
Yeah. Yes, that is an interesting question, of course. If I can switch to screen sharing again, I can show where you can find the instructions. Can you see now?
Yeah.
Okay. So if I open a new tab, I can go to GitHub. If you GitHub, okay. And in the search field, I can try typing Droidian. I think it should find it finds a reporting guide, but can you search for organizations? Oh yeah, there we have Droidian, or it's an organization on GitHub. But the release images is in different organizations, so you have to, if you want to just install, you should probably choose the release images, and there you can choose the API 28 because it is the version for Halim 9. Okay, and in the API 28, we have the installation instructions in the README MD file, and in the releases here we have the actual releases. If you click here, we can see that we have also a nightly release.
So can you share the link of your GitHub project in the chat? So
yeah, of course.
So we can keep it.
Yeah, I can share the. We have two organizations. I can share the images organization and the link, and the actual code organization link, both probably. So I will copy this here. And the actual organization is just the same without the images suffix. No, yeah.
Okay, perfect. So you have downloadable images and it's possible to flash the device with fast boot, I think.
We are using shell ADB. You have to flash the TeamWin recovery project and then ADB sideload those 3 files. So one of the zip files actually loads also the kernel to the boot. So you just flash the recovery through TeamWin recovery project, and then you use ADB to flash everything else.
Yeah, okay.
You can see here that is saying the ADB Droidian adaptation vendor device is the file. So, for example, the Volla phone, it is the Droidian adaptation Volla Yggdrasil.
So you have to copy the zip file for a side load.
Yeah, you have to sideload this zip file. This then the DevTools is optional, but recommended to flash at that, and the root file system.
Okay.
So, but everything, this is all in the instructions.
Perfect.
So you can just watch the instructions. Look for the instructions in the README file in this repository.
I think if you think the system is ready for some people to test it, we may also could include that community port in the UB ports installer. It could be maybe more convenient for some people.
Yeah, I think we have to think more about the installation process, but I think the main point is to have first a fully functional system.
Yeah, sure.
But that is something we can probably discuss in the Telegram chat with other people in the project, and yeah.
Perfect.
That is certainly something that can be discussed.
I'm very excited. So are there any questions from the community that are listening from the audience?
There were some questions. You were already answering them, but I can not read any more questions within the Telegram chat or the YouTube chat right now. So if there are any more questions inside of the conference chat, please let us know. Just write them down.
I have a question. Could you maybe summarize why you think it's worth to have that alternative? What are the benefits using this Druidian compared to other systems? So what are the key benefits and differences?
Okay. It is mostly, I think, that the largest I can think of a consumer normal consumer, is the thing that is based on Gnome Stack. If you're using GNOME, for example, I'm using Fedora with GNOME on my desktop. You have the same apps. You're using on your desktop PC or on your laptop on your phone. So, for example, you saw the settings in the phone previously. You can see the screen. I can show this is my computer's settings. They look the same. They have the same options here. And actually, if I resize this window to be phone size, it is completely the same as in the phone. Because GNOME project has worked a lot with Purism to bring GNOME also on phones.
And you have that nice stage, I would name it, on the phone. When you swipe up, you see the open apps that you can scroll horizontally.
Yeah, it is actually currently you have to tap the button.
Okay.
But it will probably change. There are plans at Purism to change that. to swipe, but of course Fosh is quite a new project for the Librem 5 phone itself, so it is not complete yet.
Is a convergence use case implicit?
In future, you could probably use this as convergence, but as the Volla phone hardware is quite limiting.
Yeah.
No, probably not on Volla phone, but we have a version for FX Pro, which currently the HDMI output is broken, but it will probably work. And I have used the Fosh as a convergence thing on a PinePhone, PinePhone Beta Edition. I have used Fosh with an external screen, so it is possible in future, probably.
Exciting. So, interested developers can contribute to the project via GitHub.
Yes, and the discussion is mostly. I think we have a Matrix room as well. We are on a Matrix and on Telegram, and I think they are linked as well. So you can see messages from both on both.
Perfect. So, some more questions.
I could probably actually just copy the Telegram link actually.
Yeah, sure. That would be helpful.
The chat. So if anyone's interested, is the correct one? Yes, this is the correct one. If anyone interested. I'll actually copy it here as well. Okay.
Cool.
Yes.
So thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for this nice speech. And I guess we will go on with the next speech.
Oh, we have one more question, I think, in the chat.
Sure.
Is the battery good on Droidian? Not yet. Volla phone has such a large battery, it's not a problem, but we haven't optimized really yet for battery life. So, for example, on Sargo, the Google Pixel 3a, it is under 10 hours, which is kind of stupid, I think. But, well, that is the thing that has to be improved in future. But on Volla phone, the experience is quite good actually already, because the battery in the phone is such a good capacity. So that is.
Well, maybe you should combine it with X, where you have 6,200 milliampere hours, and it would be perfect for ports like that. And we realized that in the Ubuntu Touch, in OTA 18, we have a further improvement of the battery life, because we realized that some background processes of a phono frequently requested some stuff, so that you may have a look on that also in your system. And if you manage to avoid that continuous processes in the background, then the battery life will be much better.
Yeah, of course. That is something that has to be looked at, but Droidian is
in our case, for instance, the voice over LTE request that isn't supported for sure yet. We are working on that. So after switching off that, we could improve the battery power.
Yeah, but just to note, Droidian is still a work in progress. Operating system, it is not nearly complete. Even it is still really in the beginning. We have made a good progress, I think, but it is not complete yet.
Perfect. How large is your team? How many people?
We have, I think 4 people have access to our repos, write access to our repos. And of course, we are sometimes having some contributions.
Perfect.
But yeah, we have, I think that there was the list in the slides. I had other team members. They include, it is me, Eugenio, Paolo Antonio, and Giuseppe Corti, and Irfan Abdi has also been
Okay. Very nice.
of some help. Yeah.
Been another question you said?
No, that was a question.
That was
But-
it.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So thank you so much. I
Yeah.
hope we saw a nice introduction to this Droidian project, and we'll see where this leads us to. Perfect.
Let's stay in touch, I would say.
Yeah.
By on the Volla Community Day. Thank you so much for your contribution.
Yeah. Thank you.
We have 3 minutes for the next, but maybe
I guess we would just move on, right?
we can move on, and maybe he's already ready, Mr. Kadame, with Manjaro. And we have only have been in contact with email and messaging, and so I'm very happy to see you in person now. And I'm very looking forward to your presentation. So welcome to the Community Days, and the stage is now yours.
Hello, and thank you for inviting us here as Manjaro project. I would like to invite Mr. Philippe, CEO of Manjaro and one of the founding members of Manjaro project. I would like him to introduce the Manjaro project to everyone.
Sure. It's an honor.
Hello everyone, my name is Philipp Müller. I'm the CEO of Manjaro GmbH & Co. KG in Germany. And today we are talking about Manjaro itself, the operating system for the desktop and mobile. But since it's Volla Community Days, our focus is of course on mobile. And we are a community and also a company now, which has an operating system based on x64 and of course on Arch64 as well. We are simple, safe, reliable. Safe in this case because we have our own repositories and everything what we do is from the community for the community and also for our partners what they need. So a little bit about Manjaro itself. So the history is going back to 2011. We were 5 people doing as a passion project, and it evolved rapidly to what it is now, the Manjaro Linux distribution. And since September 2019, we have founded a company. And 2016, our sister project, Manjaro ARM, was born. We had half a year, more or less, Manjaro ARM working. Then we stopped it for 1 year in 2017 and continued it at 2018. From then on, it rose. And since 2019, it's fully merged into the Manjaro project. And from there on, we started to support several devices. We have many team members. So me, myself, started it with Roland, Guillaume, Vlad, and Alessandro back in 2011. Then many people joined, like Bernhard Landauer from Austria, Furkan from Bahrain, then Johnson. Those are more for the ARM project related. Bernhard is also crossover to the x64. So we have laptops, tablets, and other devices we support as well. And the question is, for whom is Manjaro? So Manjaro is for the new beginners of Linux. So we aim to have a simple operating system with a familiar look and feel, so you can adjust as you need it. Also, we are open to the advanced community. We have enhanced wiki forums. Experts can find there all the documents they need to do so. And also, since we have a company, we also have a commercial side. where we adjust the operating system to the needs of our customers, and this includes also support. How we do stability? Well, stability is always a case where you say, hey, it's critical to have a stable branch. Then maybe you want to do some testing, and also we have unstable for development. So we push all packages in an unstable branch and forward it then to the other branches. We maintain everything ourselves. So we get some packages from Arch and also some packages on top we build. And therefore we have a fast reaction to bugs, updates, and patches. And everything is done also together with our vibrant community. The branches I talked before, how does it work? So we sync daily from Arch Linux into our unstable branch, and then it goes through testing into stable, and some security updates going to be fast-tracked. So you have the latest Firefox, Chromium, or kernels as needed. So we always be safe that we don't skip anything. And of course, we work a lot with other projects like Pine64, with Raspberry. Shells is the latest. So we have our operating system in the cloud. And all that we have to communicate with the community, integrate everything in our distribution, and this will then be shipped to our community itself. So Furkan, you can continue how we do Linux Mobile.
Sure. So as we were already maintaining Manjaro ARM project and most of the devices are based on ARM SoC, we started looking into the first Linux phone which was available at the time was the Pine64 Spine phone. So we started testing it out with our packages, and we started adding kernel package, and then we started testing the UIs. Like we started with Fosh, then we started with Plasma Mobile, and we got a lot of success, and we were getting a lot of support from those community as well. So now we have reached at certain stage where we directly work with Plasma Mobile team to get Plasma Mobile Pine phone or ARM64 device. Now, Bernard has been working on it a lot, and he has been pushing daily updates if there is any changes to the upstream codes. So that is for the Plasma Mobile. Then I think Philip is also working on Fosh, where we push weekly updates, where whenever there is upstream changes to the code. Lomri has been worked on with collaboration with UBport, and thanks to Marius, we have been able to get it to work on Manjaro. Even though it has been broken since some time, I will be fixing those things in coming days. With the help of Sergey, we have got Nemo to work because he has moved his base to Manjaro, and we have the UI working so far on Pine phone as well as on the Volla phone. For the Volla phone, we are using Helium, of course, just same like what Droidian Aaron has explained in his Droidian presentation. Then the current situation is that Luca has been a great help to us, and he has got the Nemo mobile UI to work, and we will show you some of the showcase of that in later slides. Now, which mobile UIs are supported, as we have already displayed here. Now you can see a screenshot here for the Plasma Mobile by KDE. It is a very smooth UI where you get to, it is somewhat similar to Android, but it is completely based on Plasma, KDE Plasma. and the KDE team has done a lot of work on this to get it very smooth and more operational of a mobile Linux platform. Then we have the Fosh from Purism. They have done an incredible job packages and libhandy to make it useful for mobile users. Our package images that it has been working very well for most of some of the users are already using it as a daily drivers. The only downside to current stage of Linux phone is some of the apps only work on Android platform, as you know, like banking apps and some of the communication apps like WhatsApp, that is needed for day-to-day daily use case for some of the users. So with Nbox, we try to we aim to get it solved, and I've seen the presentation yesterday from Irfan and Rudi that they have been doing a great job. We already have Nbox running on mainline as well as on Volla, the Helium side, but it is not quite stable yet. Then we already have Lomari working on our other mainline devices, and it has been working quite smooth, but it is not there yet as they have to move base, and it will be there in the it will be more stable in the future as UB ports have been busy with some of their other priorities. I hope they get to fix upstream code for other code base like other than Ubuntu platform. Now, the newly worked on UI is Nemo Mobile, and as Nemo team has decided to move to Manjaro as the base, it was quite helpful and easy for us to just add those packages to our repo and get it working directly on Pine phone as well as on the Vola phone. As you can see, this screenshot is from the Vola phone provided by Luca. So in the next coming slide, I will hand over the presentation to Luca, where he can showcase what all is working on the Vola phone using Nemo and Manjaro as the base. Currently, you've seen that Pine 64 is selling their devices with Manjaro as the base, where KDE Plasma is the default UI. But we have all the three options, and Nemo Mobile is recently been added to the repo, so it will be available as an official image as well. We have Caleb, who has helped get Manjaro running on a OnePlus 6 device, where he was successful in getting the mainline kernel to boot, and also was able to get some of the IO to work, like the UI, the graphical stack, and then Wi-Fi, and some part of the audio as well. Coming to the most important topic of the day is the Vola phone. With thank you to the Vola team for sending us the device, and it was very helpful for us to get it to test the packages and push those packages to the official repo where some users can just try it out and help us test it further, because we are a small team and we have quite a lot of devices to support. We are always looking for contributors to help us test the packages and also see how we can improve it further. In the Vola side, I have a lot of help from Luca, where he has helped me a lot with the Helium side of the Helium side of the project, where we were able to get it to, we have a testing image where we can boot Manjaro directly on the phone. We have hardware detection working, like the graphical stack is working. Luca was also able to get the Wi-Fi to work. and the battery and the sensors are detected correctly. So that is the current stage of Vola, but we try to push it further and try to get uh, it's stable as soon as we can. But it is a lot of work, as everyone is aware from previous presentations. So yes, we are trying our best to get as at least the basic functionalities of the phone to work on Vola, so we can start providing a ready to flash image for some of the testers out there who would like to try Manjaro. The whole purpose of using Manjaro as the base is that all our packages are latest packages from upstream repos, where the developers get to test it, test their applications if they are working on any applications, to test it on the latest packages other than old packages from other distributions. So that is why some of the UI developers like Nemo is moving base to Manjaro. On the other hand, creating a package for Arch Linux or Manjaro is very simple. We just need a single file called package build, and then you can add all the codes inside it for how to package it. So it takes less time as compared to other distribution package manager, like in case of Ubuntu and Debian. So that is very important. We also have a direct GitLab CI, where we push any changes pushed to the repo is built again through our runners connected to the GitLab. So it creates a very easy ecosystem for the developers to work along Manjaro team. In the mobile UI, for other phones which are running on mainline, almost many of the things are working as a stable use case. But as said before, we are expecting more stability on the Nbox side, so we can get Android apps to work. And with that, I think we will have a very stable use case for Linux Mobile in general for all the devices, either Helium-based devices or mainline devices. If you want, you can test the UI on Pine 64 Spine phone using either Plasma Mobile and Fosh. If you want, I can show you a small snippet of how it works. I will just switch. So I have here as the Volla phone, and then I have here another phone which is Spine 64, and it has been running Plasma Mobile since yesterday, and I have charged it fully on 100%. And now you can see that it is just 85%. So we are reaching at the point where Linux Mobile will be very smooth for daily as a daily driver. You can see that the UI is quite smooth. Yeah. So we have got the notification. If you can see, I am getting alerts from my telco. So now if I go to the settings, because I am showing Plasma Mobile because you have already seen Fosh and the Droidian project. So the Fosh is the same for Droidian as well as for Manjaro. So you can see that many of the functions are already working. Audio control, you can see the internal mics. And this is running on the latest packages from upstream. So we build it on a daily basis. Plasma Mobile is built on a nightly basis. So yeah, this is one of the latest package image I'm using at the moment. So this is what we have reached so far on the mobile UI stage. Regarding the Volla phone, I would like Luca to share his showcase his device with the Manjaro running with Nemo Mobile.
Yeah, sure. So go ahead, Luca.
Yeah, we have also another Nemo Mobile session of this morning. So maybe we can wait for that specific Nemo mobile session.
Yeah, just wanted to showcase Manjaro as
Yeah,
the
okay.
UI. All right. Yeah.
So
Just
go
show.
ahead.
Yeah. So if you can see.
Hello, I am Luca. I am from Ukraine. I am participating in a lot of open source projects for Volla phone. Manjaro RM is one of them. I got few user interfaces running on it actually. The most interesting is now mobile. Let us start it.
You don't, as long as Philip is sharing his screen, it doesn't automatically change. On our side.
Excuse me, what do you mean?
Just if Philip could not share his screen anymore, okay, that's perfect. Because otherwise we would not see your screen. Go ahead, it should work now.
Nice. Okay, let's start the UI then. So, can you see it?
Yeah, perfect.
So currently, actually, pretty nothing works. We just got a user interface up. Wi-Fi is actually working, but it is not shown yet anywhere in user interface. We can start some apps, for example, calculator. It is working pretty nicely and usually fast, but there are some lags in some places. It is pretty similar to the Sailfish OS lipstick user interface, but this one is completely open source. Most apps seems to work, but there are some exceptions. For example, I didn't got Firefox to work, but probably there is some things to do with its shell variables to use Wayland. Our biggest problem currently is keyboard. There is no virtual keyboard yet, so we can start some app. Ouch, we crashed. What the hell happened?
It's okay. It happens.
Yeah, I started without root and we have some permit. Oh my god, it is reboot. Never mind on Volla OS name and boot menu. I have just wrote the wrong name. It was Volla OS, but I flashed Manjaro then. Okay, network interface is up. Okay, we can start again, probably. Yeah, we are good to go. So currently we need to get virtual keyboard up, then we can work on more Halium things to get, for example, sensors. Then we can port the new unbox effort that was shown yesterday. About now mobile, I think it is all. We will see it more when it will come to now mobile. We got actually Xorg to work to. I can show it with XFCE. Of course, it is not very good example for small screens. but it is expected to work. Yeah, it works. It is hardware accelerated, but not very easy to use even with virtual keyboard. Actually, it seems to be completely working. Expect some OpenGL stuff, I believe. But it is really hard to use it like this. Probably we can set up some scaling, but still I would prefer some Wayland-based user interface. And we have one more thing that I'll try to start. Second. I don't understand what is wrong this time. Interesting. Ah, yeah, got it. I have forgot something. 1 second. We have some problems with UDEL probably. Some permissions are not set. Actually, it is pretty alpha stage currently. We have a lot to fix.
So while you are typing, let's use time for some questions. So I have 2 questions. So if I understand it correct, Manjaro is a kind of base system, and it's required to have an upper layer for the user interface.
It is pretty like with any other Linux distribution. You have your distribution, and you can install some user interface on top of it. Same for Manjaro, you can install pretty any user interface, but not every user interface will work with Halium.
What is about if you develop apps for this kind of exchangeable base system? I think the APIs for using really contacts or other system resources are quite different. So how can the app work if they are not just an isolated app that do something but require some system resources?
Actually, apps that require system resources is your user interface. It needs to use your GPU to accelerate. Currently, I believe that with Halium you can actually start such user interfaces as Xorg-based one, as XFCE. You can start VL roots based like Fosh or Sway. You can start Kavin based like Plasma Mobile or Plasma Desktop. I don't think you would like to use that on phone. And you can start Unity 8. And that's it.
I see. So you have an integration layer like Qt to access system resources like contacts or messages, things like that.
Contacts and messages uses Ophono actually, which uses Android Real as its backend.
So So it was very convenient in Sailfish for a developer to send messages or read the messages via this API of Nemo API that was quite convenient when I worked with that. Do you have comparable APIs to such system resources or user data?
Probably, I believe that in Sailfish OS they use pretty similar stack with Ophono and to realize its backend.
Okay, are there some more?
There's one question. Eric Inkinen raised his hand. Please go ahead.
Yes, I actually just wanted to point out that we had actually also Xorg running in on Droidian, so we can also use other user interfaces on Droidian, and I think we have Qt QPA platform for the HW Composer in our repositories. So it is possible to, for example, I think it would be possible to run Lipstick currently on, or Nemo almost on Droidian. I think it probably should work because we have the graphics stack in place in Droidian repositories. If it's imported Nemo, it should probably almost work. I don't know. I haven't tested that, but I think that we have the Qt backend for HW Composer, so it should be possible to run that. The
Do you have Qt pin?
Actually, it is possible to run Neo Mobile on pretty any distribution.
Yes, if just hardware, if it's just hardware support, is that run and the packages to run the. Yeah, you have to have the Qt QPA platform for HW Composer if you're on a Halium device, but you can run Nemo on top of that on every possible distribution.
So you could write apps in Qt QML that are accessing via Qt PIM the contacts, for instance, or calendars, things like that.
Different
Yes.
user interfaces have different APIs for contacts, but you aren't supposed to change user interfaces that often. And most user interfaces have like SMS applications are user interface specific applications that are produced by the same developer as the user interface. So, and I think some things may have a unified API, but not everything.
From what I understand is the API which is common is from the Ophono or the Modem Manager, depend which one is used for the UI. Fosh uses Modem Manager, whereas KDE is still using Ophono. Now, depending on those stack, the developers has to work around their app around those stack. So, for example, if a developer
So I guess your connection is a little bit bad
as
right now.
if they want to
Yeah, my connection is probably not very good, but actually I have started it. This is Leary UI. It is pretty new UI. It is designed in material design by Google. Actually, it is in beta stage itself, but we already got it working on Manjaro IRM on Volla phone. It is hardware accelerated and working nicely. At least in that places where we do not have bugs, and bugs are pretty common here. We can start apps. This user interface have few reference apps, like they have their own browser, calculator, file manager, app center. Let's start, for example, browser. Yeah, no, not that thing. It was KDE console. My phone is currently pretty bloatwired with software because I have installed few user interfaces here. Never mind on that. But actually it's working. Yeah, it even see a battery charge. Same as Nemo. I
Okay,
believe it.
there's another question from Mr. Inkinen. Please go ahead.
I think I already forgot the guest question, I think.
Okay. So, just looking a little bit at the time, we are about to go to the next speaker. So, if you are finished, or if you almost finished, if you have to say something which you think is important, please go ahead.
Nothing left on my side. If there are questions, feel free to ask them.
Okay.
Yeah, the next slide is how users and contributors that can contact us. We have our website, manjaro.org, and we have our forum where users can go to Manjaro ARM project and see what all is going on. Then we also have our GitLab. It's called gitlab.manjaro.org. I will drop it as a text here.
Okay, the last operation.
And there's also another question. How is the collaboration between Manjaro and ARC community?
I would let Philippe answer that.
Okay, where is it?
And also another question would be, I wonder if every big Linux distributor comes up with its own mobile distro.
That is not so easy task, and I don't think it is. He's talking about mobile distro, or is it mobile UI? If it is a mobile UI, then it would again fragment the whole mobile Linux use case. I think having limited UI for the mobile while using a centralized or an integration layer as a common platform would be more sensible, where the UI developers can only concentrate on the UI side while not have to worry about the resource connection, resource management, and like integration layers. So yeah, mobile
Okay, thank you.
distro, and then any distro can be turned into a mobile distro.
Yeah, the connection to your side is getting weird now. I have a little bit of noises again. So, Philip, you wanted to answer the other question?
Yes.
Well, we work close together with Arch and other distributions. So yeah, when we have something, we share with them, like Postmarket OS or Mobian, and the other way around. So in mobile, everyone is working together, especially on the PinePhone.
Okay. Last question from the audience, Mr. Inkinen again.
I just was thinking maybe we should, as Droidian is also for Halium as base. I think we should work more closely to share information. I don't think we have shared the enough information. I mean, as we are both working to work on Halium phones, I think we should, with Manjaro and Droidian, we should share information and possibly code between, because
Yes.
it is not.
That we Yes, that's true. What I want to share is, yes, we both are part of the time constraint. We are not able to look into each other's work. But from our side, our GitLab is open, where you can see what is going on. On the ARM side, you can see all the ARM packages updates are happening. I think we have a chat, and I'm also active on the Volla chat app. on Telegram. So yes, it is a good opportunity for all of us to work closely together to get mobile sides of the Linux project.
Okay.
As we work closely with other communities like Plasma Mobile, UBports, Lomri. So yes.
So to summarize, sharing is caring as always, and I guess we made some good connections. And if you want to work a little bit closer together, that's always welcome, because like the open source network is getting bigger and bigger. I will head over to Dr. Wurzel because I guess he will have some final questions or final announcements or
final comment maybe or question. I think thank you very much for that also inspiring demonstration and also presentation. I think that the Manjaro organization is located in Germany. That gives me the idea that we also should should collaborate if it comes to the Volla hub that I mentioned yesterday as a solution to have a different, to offer our customers a solution for a cloud alternative. And it's I think also a good opportunity that you are working on not only an online operation system but also on the core Linux operation system. And I realize that there are so many awesome projects people are working on, and from our perspective. And also, I think for other app developers, it's different if they need to choose the right platform for developing. And because you know that we want to migrate also the Volla user experience to the Linux operation system. And currently, I think we will start with working on the Ubuntu Touch, because the API to the system resources are deeply documented or somehow documented. Not as good as for Nemo, but I think we can start with it. So that's my challenge that we have, that we will port the user experience, and then we need, as Mr. Cardane also said, that it would require a kind of shared interface for these UI and application level. So I hope that in the future we have that kind of shared platform where that is attractive enough for many developers to write apps, or for us to be able to migrate our user experience. So therefore is my question, what do you think? Do you see a chance to work together regarding point 1, I mentioned that the Volla hub, and point 2, regarding finding a solution to migrate the Volla user experience to a mobile Linux? Would like someone maybe answer for you?
Yes, I am thinking of what is the good opportunity here. Can you repeat the question again, because it was cracking?
One question is that we might collaborate regarding this kind of hub. This is a kind of hardware for our distributed cloud approach that help people to have the convenience to make that they have from the big tech companies, but the different approach would be that they have a hub, a small hardware, where they have their private cloud. I think Manjaro, or also another Linux distribution, could be a base system. The benefit of your project is that you have both worlds that you already know. And the second question is, So the first question is, could we collaborate on for this? It could also a question for Mr. Inkinen, because it's quite similar. And the second question is, how could we migrate the Volla user experience on Volla OS to a mobile Linux? Because this Volla user interface would require a deep integration into the system, like context, messages, or opening the browser, or whatever activities are integrated in the user interface. And therefore, I asked for the APIs that are available for this kind of resources. So do you think that?
Yes, I can read it on the public chat. There is a debate. I think it's almost a debate to Qt or to GTK. Now, half of the team would say Qt because they have Plasma Mobile, KD platforms, and Nemo Mobile. Yeah, and then some of them are saying GTK because they are used to GNOME, so they would go with Fosh. Now it all depends on
So Qt was the right way. We
who
already
works.
implemented this Volla user interface in Qt QML, but for sure for the Volla OS we need JNI to read, to get the information about the installed apps and such kind of stuff that is not available for Qt out of the box. But Qt could be the right direction, you said.
For the KD Plasma team has worked on apps where they have the backend. They are working on the backend. They have a working chat app, a mobile phone app, which is directly integrated with Ophono. So that is the current stage. While Fosh has worked on their side as well. Now that will always be there. Now, as a base, we work with both the sides because we have a mixed community. Some are like we shown in the presentation that our flagship UIs are either GTK or based on GNOME and Fosh, while the other half of the community wants KD Plasma or XFCE, which is again KD and GTK. So it has always been like this. As a base, we work in all the directions and see which UI is working best for our users. So I plan to have a Fosh running soon on Volla. So after that, we can see how well it works on Volla and what all apps are working quite well.
Okay, thank you very much. So we need to hurry now, and hopefully,
Yes.
thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Maybe you feel that I'm involved in that topic, and it's very interesting for me. And but we have to look on the clock, and so let's thank you again for your contribution, and let's hand over to Mr. Adam Pick. He made an awesome job about porting Sailfish OS. In my point of view, it's the most major of solutions next to Apple and Android. It's not in that operation system. However, now, Mr. Pick, thank you very much for joining us, and I'm looking forward to see what you can show us from the community port of Sailfish OS. Are you online?
Mr. Pick, I just saw your screen just for a second, but and I see that you're unmuted. I hope it's going well right now.
Hi, can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's better. That's so much better.
Okay. Well, I'll ditch the headset. Right, okay, let's see if I can share my screen. Screen. Can you see the presentation?
No, not yet.
No.
Bei solchen Diskussionen muss man sich gegen.
Now we can see something. Perfect. So we're happy to see some sailfish updates. So I guess we see the screen, but we can't hear you right now. Try again. Oh.
Okay, how's that?
Yeah, that's better. Perfect.
Right. Morning, everyone. So I'm Adam. I'm a Sailfish OS and app contributor working on the Volla phone, the FX Tech Pro 1, Pine phone, and the Xiaomi tablet. Previously, I've worked on KDE and Calligra kind of 10, 15 years ago, and I do this as a hobby in my free time. You might see me mountain biking and hiking also. So Sailfish information can be read at sailfish.org. It's now on version 4. It's been developed since 2013 by Volla. It's mostly built on free and open source software, but with a couple of proprietary components, such as the Silica user interface, support for Microsoft Exchange, and quite good Android compatibility. The community ports to any device they can, and Volla provides support mainly for Sony phones. You can visit us in #SailfishOS porters, currently on Freenode, but I guess that will change very soon.
Just a short interruption. Your desktop was sharing and then not, so it's a little bit flicky from our side, I guess.
Is it sharing now?
Right now, I can't see anything. No. Now I see something. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was just talking a little bit about Sailfish. It's on version 4, and the current status on the Volla phone is it's stuck on Sailfish 3.4, which is a bit old, and it's based on on the 32-bit ARM v7. This is the version that's currently available to users. It's based on the Volla OS 9, Android 9 installation, but everything does work. Calls, SMS, Wi-Fi, camera, and fingerprint. And fingerprint's quite interesting because the Volla was the first community phone to get proper fingerprint support. When we updated to Sailfish 4, however, the user interface would crash after 5 or 10 seconds. And that was down to the Android hardware composer crashing due to some update in Lipstick, causing it to die. And we got stuck. So the port kind of lay dormant for quite a while. So apologies. This is a joke. So I broke my phone. I started a fresh port this week based on Android 10, and you definitely do not want to do that if you're doing a demo on Sunday. However, good news. So this week, as I just said, I've started the port to Android 10 based on Arch 64. So it's one of the first community ports to be based on Arch 64.
Sorry
However,
to interrupt, but your presentation has left again.
Why?
Yep, it's back.
Back?
Yeah.
So this week I started porting Sailfish 4.1 based on Lineage 17.1. So that does require the Volla phone to be updated to the Android 10 release for the updated bootloader. And it wasn't straightforward. It started off with a kernel which wouldn't boot, but that turned out to be a fault of the kernel code enough and pointed me to the correct commit to use for that. The UE wouldn't load, but fortunately, last night Notkit worked out the issue, and so I woke up this morning and was able to get the user interface to load. And I've got to say, it is silky smooth and it's very nice already. So I've only had this working for a few hours, so I haven't tested anything, calls, data, sensors, fingerprint. But give me a week or so and I'm sure it will be working a lot better. You can find the main repository is on the Hello Volla GitHub account.
Sorry, just we still see your presentation, but Mike, would you please mute yourself because we have double audio? Thank you.
Okay, well, I'll end the presentation there, and I will try and hold up the phone in front of the camera. So hopefully you can see there, the animations are buttery smooth.
Yeah.
I can open up the settings application. Swipe away, terminal. And yeah, Wi-Fi is working. And I haven't had time to test anything else yet.
No, but this looks good so far.
Yeah, I mean, genuinely, this only started working at 8 o'clock this morning.
Kann ich? Yeah, that's amazing. I love Sailfish, and some people know that have been from the beginning in our community that we negotiated with Jolla, and I would like to call them still friends at Jolla. They helped us in the early stage of our project to evaluate the Sailfish OS system. And I still love that system. So thank you very much. I'm very happy that we have a Sailfish OS. Let's see how it goes on, our negotiation, so we are able to pre-install Sailfish in the future. And there's my first question. Will you then maybe also maintain the installation by the UB ports installer for Sailfish? So people can benefit from your port?
Yeah, so I guess so long as the UB ports installer updates to Android 10, Will that be happening?
Yeah, okay, yes, I think so, because the UBports installer anyway needs to support Android 10, because Volla OS is also soon, as you know, based on Android 10. So I think we found a solution to do so already, or Mr. Okrenkov found a solution, I need to say. So I think that should be possible then.
Yeah, so that should be fine. So to run the latest Sailfish 4 seems to require Android 10. So far, I've had no crashes. It's super stable and looks like it's going to work really well.
Did you know? Do you know whether Sailfish has a solution for a notch display? I remember that the lead engineer von Jolla told me that they are working on something, but it was 1 year before.
I'm not sure if there's anything official. I have seen patches around to move the clock. That's probably something I need to look into.
Okay, so let me see. There's someone saying there's a patch for it, but the patch manager is broken with Sailfish OS 4.x. And he's also saying if you need a tester, you just have to ping me, like the user me. More questions from the YouTube channel are not here right now. So again, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts, and thank you also for your nightly builds.
I have one further question. So you know that the Sailfish is interesting for consumers. It's very stable, it's reliable in every day, and people love for sure the Alien Delvik. Do you know whether there is a chance to run Nbox on it? And I think last year I read some messages on Twitter that Nbox could be available on Sailfish. So we have an alternative for Alien Delvik.
So I think that might be possible. The older version of Nbox I tried didn't work on Wayland, but I think that situation's improved recently. So if there's Wayland support, I don't see a reason why it shouldn't be possible.
Okay, thank you very much. So, and yeah, maybe this afternoon, Mr. Panyu can tell us if the Sailfish S could also be the second operation system on the Volla phone, if you have the boot manager, and this, so people can just try it out as an alternative. So thank you very much. Also, a question for the other, for all contributors with that exciting presentations. Are you willing to provide us the presentation so we can publish it in our blog post? And we, I think it would be a benefit for our users.
Yeah, and I'll just add that I'll try and provide images of the Sailfish 4 version in the next few days.
Yeah, that would be perfect.
And your presentation, maybe?
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Okay. Thank you so much. So we go ahead with it's 11:40 already, and we are a little bit after, but now I am happy to see some more Nemo Mobile. Also a live demo.
Nee,
Is it?
wir hätten noch 10 Minuten.
Ab etwa 50. Okay, sorry. So we are ahead of time. you would still have 10 minutes to show us everything you want, at least. So if there are any more questions, you can still ask them and raise your hand if you want. Sorry, Sergey. It's okay. Yeah, 10 minutes still in the making. Maybe in the meantime, I would show again what we showed yesterday, because we have a new Volla phone. I guess not everyone in this chat or on YouTube saw it yesterday. So I'm happy to show it again inside the camera. The Volla phone X. And maybe Mr. Vossa can say something about it while I showed it in the camera.
Yeah, so this is the Volla phone that can be pre-ordered next month, and also we plan to ship it in August. We can do it because it's related to our available Volla phone. It's the same processor, but the Volla phone X is quite different. It has a 6,200 milliampere hours battery, so it's a monster battery, and it's IP68 water and dust resistant. It's quite heavy for sure, 270 gram, but with that specification, it can fall down, so it's very robust, and yeah, I hope that our customers like it. We have been asked for such a rack phone by people that are working in the construction industry, or that maybe also some people are outdoor, people at the fire station, or have a hobby outdoor. It's quite useful to have a rack device. So that's a new Volla phone X. And let's see, and we will provide that with a pre-installed Volla OS for sure, and Ubuntu Touch, and we will publish the source code for that, so you are able to adopt what we are publishing. Okay, and I also, if I find time, we are just a very small company and we need to grow, and we are able to grow from cash flow. Thank you very much for each contributor of the Indiegogo project, or just the users who are buying the device. That enables us to grow and have the stability to provide updates and do further developments. So thank you very much for that. Yeah. So, and yeah, well, I think it's a good point to hand over to the next speech. Maybe if you're ready. Mr. Chiplin is working on Nemo Mobile, and this fits perfect together. We evaluated Nemo Mobile at the first Volla community days. I remember the hackathon where people did some investigation in open sourcing the Silica part, so that Sailfish apps would run on Nemo Mobile. It shouldn't be rocket science to do so, because only some boundaries of Silica are closed source, but the most parts of Silica are open source with a license that would enable maybe an open source fork to have Sailfish apps on Nemo Mobile. And you know, as much apps are running on an operation system, and the more users are using the operation system, it's more attractive for the users and the developers. So maybe someone can tell us later whether someone is working on open sourcing Silica. As I know, Nemo Mobile has its own layer, an API for developing apps. I love Nemo Mobile. And so let's see whether we can start with the presentation and demo. Are you ready?
So just before you start, sorry, Alan Pick, you have one more question, I guess? Is
Yeah,
it
sure.
related to your current
Go ahead.
presentation?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to say on that point about Sailfish apps on Nemo, the developer of Pure Maps application has made a set of components which allows Sailfish applications to run on other distros. So I'm using that myself. So my app can work on desktop Linux using Qt, a Plasma Mobile. So they could run on Nemo as well.
Okay.
Good point. And the are the apps aligned to the user interface? So you know that Qt developers are using a specific library to have that awesome user experience of transparency and things like that. Is that the compatibility layer of that map application? It was Open Maps or Scout?
Pure Maps is called.
Pure Maps.
It's a set of QML components re-implemented for each base. So there's a set of components for Silica, a set of components for Kirigami for Plasma, and a set of components for Ubuntu Touch using UITK. So there's 3 implementations, but they all have the same API. So the app developer just has to do it once, and the rest, the porting to each distribution is done automatically.
That's a good news. That's a good news. Yeah.
So one of my apps, Amazefish, is done. It uses those components.
Okay, perfect. Maybe we can dive a little bit deeper in further meetings, but now we will head over to Mr. Chupligin. I hope I pronounced this right. And we're happy to see more Nemo Mobile.
Hi. Are you hear me? Are you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, but Mr. Pick, would you please mute yourself so we can have clean audio also for...
Okay. My presentation is online, yes?
Yeah, we see your presentation.
Okay. And first I talk about what is Nemo and where is it when he come in this beautiful world. I'll start in old times when Nokia realized that Symbian is outdated, is not good, and they make MIMO distribution. After sometimes Intel connect with NEMA or with Nokia, and we get MIGA devices with MIGA operation system like Nokia N9 and other, but we all know what happened with Nokia. Hello, Microsoft and Steve. Okay, and team that did not agree with die of Miga create own project which names Mir. Mir was base itself, not containing UI. UI presents by projects Selfish OS and open source project Nemo Mobile. What different with Selfish and Nemo Mobile at now? Now, Nemo Mobile is full open source, but Selfish OS is particle. We support multi-windows, but Selfish no. We don't have MDM, we have modern version of Qt. We need Qt 5.11 or 12, and that's mean we don't support all Silica application because it needs 5.6 Qt version. We have own components, own Qt components. It's all open source, but Selfish have Silica. It's closed source. We have different support of Android device. Halium or libhybrids. It's different in its system. Hybrids use Android init, Halium use containers. We have different support of Android application.
I've just been presenting. I think I've streamed on YouTube.
Sorry?
Sorry, just a second. Mr. Pick, you're still not muted. Would you please mute yourself? Otherwise, I have to mute everyone and then demute. Thank you. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, we have different Android application support. Nemo Mobile was support unboxed soon, like say Yola. Selfish use custom closed source services like Android Alien Dalvik, and we support GTK, Xwindow, and Flutter application, but I don't know about Selfish support Flutter. Okay. What's the okay? But why is Nemo so similar to Selfish? Use hardware and communication services, some hardware and communication services such as SME and Dolphin use some application services and other. Why we different? Okay, okay. And first and biggest problem of Selfish is the old version of Qt. Because some license problems with closed source parts of Selfish. Also, many companies have older versions, and it's not problem. We can update, but some services on Selfish and Mer have different, not upstreamed patches. It's the biggest problem with some issues, some problems with porting. And NEMA guys like me says, oh, it's not good, it's not best way, go to new Qt, go to upstream companies, but Selfish guy says, oh no, we don't need that, it's not our problem, we use own components, own patches, and that's why we start migrate to Manjaro. We now Nemo Mobile is the friendly and big family of Nemo Manjaro. We update many specific components like lipstick, like HV Composer, MCE, DSME, and others. In GitHub, we have over, I don't know, many projects. We have updates, and now we work about migrate mer specific patches to upstream. For Yola, Luca already taught and showed how to Nemo works on Volla phone. I just say some Volla specific parts. We have support cutout and ring screen. It's a special for Volla. Now it's a work in progress patch, but in some days or weeks we support it. We will support it in upstream. But we must understand this project writing in 2 or 3 people in free time, and not ready for everyday using. Sorry, we don't have many time for Nemo Mobile make great again. Now it's alive. It's the first and good news at this day. But we have broken keyboard, broken camera, broken voice call, broken many things. But it starts. But we have work data call with often upstreamed, often and we trying to fix all these problems day after day. Okay, but we working on fixing this bug and not fixing. We want to add something new bugs. We want to migrate to quick controls 2 because it's will be better to write application for Nemo Mobile. We want to migrate from Qt-PIM, its outdated components of Qt, to KDE framework PIM components because we want to use upstream parts in Nemo Mobile. Not real good if we added the contacts in Nemo Mobile, but can't open it on Plasma or something other application. It's not good, and we go to upstream components. As I say later, return all mere specific patches to upstream. If we can return all patches to upstream, we try to use the upstream component because it's not good use forks. Forks not good. Now we support multi-screen, but supported particularly, multi-screen, multi-window. It's not phone stuff. It's, as I think, tablet or desktop stuff. Yes, we can. Yes, you can run Nemo application on desktop, but it's good for developing, but not everyday using. Okay, and we work about C-Linux support on Nemo Mobile, like declarative access for contacts, camera, and other. And I have a short presentation. Yes, how you can help us. And first, we need some designer because programmers is not good designers. We need some testing, write code, porting to new device. How you can help us? You're welcome to our GitHub website, our Telegram chat, Matrix chat, as you see on all links you see in presentation, and I can put it in chat. Can I? Can. Okay. Yes. Okay. And if you have some questions for me, welcome.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a couple of questions. First of all, I appreciate your contribution, and I'm so happy. And I remember that you have asked me and my colleague 2 years ago many questions in the Nemo Mobile channel. This is you do a lot for the community. Thank you very much for that. And I have 2 questions. The first one, is it still possible to enjoy the user experience of Nemo Mobile by installing, I think it's called Manhattan, on top of Sailfish?
No, we lost. We use a modern version of Qt. You can't install Nemo Mobile on Sailfish.
So that has changed. But Manhattan is maintained on a newer technical level, and you keep the user interface and the approach.
We use mere components, but base not mere. Its base is Manjaro now, but we use all mere specific components because it's designed and right for mobile first, and this good way. We mobile first UI, we have mobile first UX, we have mobile first services.
Yeah.
but base is Manjaro.
Yeah, I remember as a developer that Nemo offers some APIs to read emails and such things. And did you replace that?
Now we not replace it, but in future maybe not.
Okay. And maybe another question, it's so exciting. What is working from Nemo Mobile? The last time when I some basic essential features worked. I think I had what was my device? Some device from India, Intex or so. And many things did work, but the email client didn't really work and such things. How complete is the Nemo distribution from a user point of view? Can you make phone calls?
Sorry?
Can you make phone calls, for instance?
I don't know. Now work is calling, now work is messaging, and system settings or other. We are still not everyday user. It's really alpha version of UI. I don't have so many free time to write an application. Step by step. In first, we must stabilize running. Now we work about it. Next step is messaging, calling, and other. Next step is email, PIM, and another. Step by step, I can't write anything.
Do you know whether the former team of Nekonos is still working on Nemo Mobile?
I don't know. I hear Postmarketers run Nemo Mobile and something else.
Yeah, it's a pity. So it was my hope that Nemo Mobile becomes popular by a commercial device, but and I was also a supporter of their project, but I didn't hear anything about Nemo Mobile or about Nekonos. The last thing was the Yocto-based port or build of Nemo Mobile that they published on GitHub, I think.
Yes, if we use upstream components without some specific patches, porting to another operating system is be simplicity because we just compile in package and run it. It's all. It's a good way to use.
So we also reflected and whether we should use Nemo Mobile. That was a question in the past, and some people that have seen our campaign on Indiegogo and Kickstarter have seen some screenshots from it. Okay, some questions maybe from the community.
Yes, Joseph Mitch said review of Nemo Mobile on PinePhone. You can see on YouTube.
Yeah, so
you can see many videos in my YouTube channel with progress of Nemo Mobile. I trying to post all videos with new features. Okay, I make something work. Got video.
okay, so the audience can, inside of the conference chat here, can see some YouTube links where you can see more of these builds. Are there any more questions? I don't see any questions in the YouTube chat right now. I'm going to check also the community. Someone is saying, great idea to bring the Volla UI to Linux and then an app store for shareware apps and paid apps, allow devs all around the world to earn some money with their work. But that's always a goal to earn money for working, sure.
Yeah, so two things, maybe two comments. we had also a kind of prototype for the Volla user experience on Sailfish, and I was asked to publish it on GitHub. So as soon I have time, I will publish that source code so you can play around with it. This is a source you can see in our video on the YouTube channel. So maybe it's worth to share it with you. There you can find how I connected this prototype with the Nemo APIs that should be exchanged then.
We have questions in chat. Can you run desktop apps on Nemo? Yes, we can.
Can you repeat the question?
Can you run desktop apps on Nemo was the question.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes, we can run desktop apps.
Yeah, and even I discussed with the team of Jolla, I remember a workshop with them. It's even possible to enable a kind of windowed mode of Sailfish. And we discussed with them how we could use Sailfish as a base system for a convergence case. And that, by the way, should be possible. And so if people are working on that stuff, I would also appreciate it. So a lot of things are possible here. And I think it also should be possible to compile desktop apps on Sailfish. I discussed it with some of the engineers of Jolla, I remember. So that's very exciting if we go ahead with that. And that was also this question regarding paid apps. It was last week I had a phone call with one developer, and he was interested to create a kind of crowdfunding project or just an open source project to develop a kind of framework that enables a payment option that can be easily integrated in apps that people are writing for Sailfish, maybe also for Nemo Mobile and other things. I think many developers would be very interested in that. I know that Mr. Wolf, who has developed these nice apps with the German names Piepmatz or Zaster. It is a banking app for Sailfish OS. And Piepmatz, it's people who knows German can understand. It's a Twitter app. And he implemented, I think, a payment option, but it's not really convenient. So people has to buy a kind of a license key and they have to put it into the user interface. So if someone who is in the audience, maybe the one I talked with is in the audience and can tell about his plans developing such a framework that other people can easily adapt. I have seen that some payment frameworks are available for Qt and QML. I don't know the state. Maybe other people here can say something if they know. I think it would be worth to have that option. We also think, like yesterday, when I introduced in the challenges for the hackathon, that I asked for the plugin mechanism for further skills of the Volla OS. And we have the same challenge that we would like to motivate third-party developers to contribute with skills to the Volla user interface. And it would be good if we have some payment option so that people are motivated to contribute. So do you know existing frameworks to do so? Maybe Mr. Ikinen, if he's still online, or the other guys from Manjaro know something that can be used with Qt, QML to do so.
Sorry,
So it's an interesting question. I have seen.
Yeah, Mr. Inkinen.
Yeah.
Please go ahead.
Well, you use Qt on Android.
Yeah.
It is true, but Qt for Android is kind of different than Qt for Linux. Other Linux distributions using Wayland, so it is a bit hard to say what is the best way to do that on Android. But if Springboard was running on Helium, one could use, for example, a dbus interface. But dbus isn't a part of Android, so it is not working on Android. But maybe if somebody is interested to create another program having the similar like idea than Springboard, but running on the Helium, one could experiment with having dbus API to extend the Springboard-like system.
So exactly. So we have a kind of cross-platform part that is Qt QML, and then we have both apps for both, for Sailfish done and for Android. And we have a cross-platform part for the user interface and also some business logic of the app. But for sure, we have some native parts, and we use that open source project, that component that makes us very easy to use JNI. And for Sailfish, I have used dbus. So I think we need to modularize it so we can build a cross-platform part and some native parts. And so dbus was the choice for Sailfish, and I think it will be for Nemo. I'm not sure what's possible for Linux.
Mr. Inkinen again.
Well, dbus is the I could say official way to do complicated inter-process communication in desktop Linux. It is used by almost every distribution that has a desktop user interface. But it would work on Linux to use dbus to somehow communicate with the client. Could send information via dbus the client has an interface that could be used to provide some functionality for the Springboard, and the launcher could just store that information and then somehow use that information later to send dbus commands or methods to the client, which could execute the actions requested by user via Springboard.
Okay. Yeah, we used it, for instance, in Sailfish to create a node and open the node app and sharing the text and the content. So it was quite convenient and quite stable working.
Yeah, dbus can also work as like a server. You were using it is a client for the client Notes app, but it's similarly easy to use dbus as a server to interact with applications that want to interact with the Springboard.
That's very nice. Yeah. Some more questions, maybe?
Not any more questions right now. Just a hint that we also have the Volla dev group, and someone put also the link inside the chat. So if you want to join us in the Volla and the open Volla dev group, you're free to join. We're happy. And as far as I can see, no more questions here.
Yeah, it's someone who knows something about the payment. So is that maybe also a question to the community? Would that motivate you to develop apps if such kind of a framework would be available for easy payment or to integrate payment easily in apps? I think it's very rare in that Linux app that they have paid apps but then it's hard for developers to earn money with it.
Mr. Pick said that there was a payment system for Sailfish, but it was abandoned.
Ah, okay.
So,
Interesting to know. Mhm.
Mr. Müller.
Well, there's Elementary OS in the Linux world, and they have a pay what you want app store, and maybe we can adopt something of their work to the app store of yours. We have to see what is documented in the internet and how they do it. But yes, that's the first distribution, and it's also a company doing it, and they have the app store, and the users can download applications or pay what they want for it, and they also do that for the ISOs they promote on their homepage.
And also that the pay what you want system is sometimes even better than the give me 10 euros system, because like paying what you want is like sometimes it's more than other people would pay. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Eric Inkinen, you also wanted to say something, but you did raise your hand again.
Yeah, I just had the same comment, but I could add there that the elementary operating system has, I think you can use the applications for free, but you have an option. You have to it asks to pay what you want, but you can actually say that you want to pay €0, and it lets you used for free. But it is quite a good approach to this, because, well, many people that are really willing to help these developers are actually giving money to them.
Yeah.
So I think that is quite a good approach to use to pay what you want or donation system.
Yeah. I guess we should follow this thought a little bit and think about what we can do maybe for the community of everybody. That's a nice approach. Thank you so much. Are there any more questions? Gibt es irgendwelche Fragen? Gerne auch auf Deutsch, dann können wir das ja auch übersetzen. Eric Inkinen.
I just was wondering, I think I saw somewhere, was it on Ubuntu Touch that they had something that was asking for donation on some downloads? In the Open Store. I think I saw something in Open Store. That they had a question: if you want to donate, you could do that here.
It just opens a web page. This is better than nothing. That the user is gets a notification, is aware of the option to donate, and this is a pretty good solution. But it's not a convenient way to get a payment or to unlock some features. So I think it's also, from a business point of view, very interesting to have some in-app payments. So you have a free app, and if you are able to unlock special features. If you are developing games, for instance, and you would like to buy some levels or tools or whatever, then this in-app payment is a good way to do so.
Yeah. And talking about payments, also I will share my screen once again, because we have a discount this weekend, and maybe somebody's interested in that, because you save 21 euros if you use the code BCD21. And this is only happening until the end of Monday, so tomorrow evening CET. The code will be deleted, and you are not able to save that money. So better buy now. That's it.
Okay, so we have then, thank you very much for the contributions. And I'm always impressed how many time you invest in that innovation. Yeah, you are drivers of innovation that we need. And the consumers are waiting for alternatives of Google and Apple. And I'm pretty sure, and what we are doing is a proof that there's a third market next to that big tech company. So thank you very much for what you are doing for the community, for the innovation, and for the consumers, the rest of us that have usually no chance to have an alternative if they go to the supermarket like MediaMarkt or in Germany or Saturn. In the afternoon, we have also interesting sessions. It will start with a demonstration of the UB ports installer. We had a brief discussion yesterday morning, and I'm very looking forward to the dual boot presentation by Mr. Panyo. He seemed to be a hero in that open source community, as I learned today. And then hopefully we have some results of people that are working from a hackathon. Maybe some people can post a chat messages who is working on that.
Because one of the prizes from the hackathon will be a Volla X.
Yeah, it will be a Volla X. Some people asked me in the UB ports chat, I think a couple of days ago, whether they can also prevent and improve their own project and idea during the days. I said yes, so maybe something we will see. I also will tell you, if you know someone who will join the Volla team, I'm very happy to get a note by email to info@volla.online or to my person. It's the first name and last name, jörg.rozer@volla.online. So if you are a freelancer and you say, I have 1 or 2 days a week and I would like to spend a time in our open source projects, then I'm happy to get your email and for that paid work. And let's see. So we are growing, and also the engagement can grow for developers. So I tell your friends, so spread that news around. I hope that I will also publish soon some advertising on developers we need.
Okay. One message from Adam Pick. I won't be on the hackathon. My daughter has asked to go on a bike ride, and that doesn't happen often. So have fun riding the bike with your daughter.
So have fun. Yeah, for sure. It's very sunny in Germany today after a very long winter. Yesterday I put my coat into the cupboard, and today I just wear a lightweight jacket. I think it's time that the summer comes.
So North England is now also sunny. That's perfect.
That's perfect. Oh, that's
all the speakers also who didn't know this from yesterday get a Volla stand where they also can put a 90 degrees charging cable in it, and you can just put it in there and has the Volla sign on it. It's 3D printed, quite stable, and you can put it on your desk or anywhere where you want. And it will also be on our shops within the next few weeks, so you can also order it with a cable already. We're just getting started.
Okay, thank you very much. So we will see us again, hopefully, the most of you, at 1 p.m. Central European Summer Time.
Yes. And I will quit the conference here just to be ready to have a second stream of the day. So you are free to stay inside here, and we'll see each other at 1:30.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.